Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel, guys. Now I must say apologies, first of all, it has been quite a while since I did upload my last video. Of course, the reason for that is that I have been doing exams recently, so I've literally just not had that much time to go ahead and make a video for you guys. But we are back with it today, so apologies for that I've not been doing it. I think when you guys will be watching this, I've only got one exam left, so hopefully I'll be getting back to regular uploads in not too long. So of course, guys, what I'm very eager to know from you guys is what are your score predictions for the Championship playoff final? The biggest game in the Championship. It has all come down to this between Huddersfield and Reading for a chance in the Premier League on Monday. This is just a huge fixture. Before we do go ahead and predict that game, we will go ahead and talk about the playoff semi-finals, the second legs which took place, because I've not done a video since that, but we'll quickly brush through these because, like I said, these games did take place quite a while ago. But before we do go ahead and go into that, guys, I will include your guys' comments on screen now. So to the few people who did correctly guess a scoreline to the second leg, fair play to you guys, because of course, obviously there was never going to be that many people that got one right, because literally there was only 2 games to go ahead and predict. But fair play to everyone that got one right. If you're wondering how my predictions went, I mean, here's what I said in the video in the Championship playoffs. So if my predictions do come true, we will have a Fulham versus Sheffield Wednesday final at Wembley. Yeah, so pretty much the opposite of what I thought was happened went ahead and happened, and we somehow have a final between Reading and Huddersfield. I say somehow, it is fully deserved because they were the better teams in those fixtures, guys. So we'll first of all go ahead and talk about the Reading against Fulham game, which of course took place on Tuesday the 16th of May, and this was quite a bizarre game actually. I mean, the one thing I hope for the final above all else is I just want it to be a good game, guys, and we've seen a lot of low scoring games. I mean, I was watching the League 2 playoff semi-finals the other day, and they were like the complete opposite of what we were seeing in the Championship. They wasn't cagey at all. They were just literally going at each other, and there were goals flying in from all angles. But in terms of this game, it was a Jan Kermigan penalty which did separate the two teams. But I mean, Reading's hero in this game had to be Ali Al-Habsi. What an unbelievable game he had for them, and I think he was their player of the year, Reading, this season. And I mean, he was showing why in this game. Some of the saves he pulled off, one double save especially, was absolutely exquisite. I think Tom Kearney had an effort and then someone else followed up on the rebound, and my word, Al-Habsi was just on another level in this game. And Fulham were a bit unlucky, you know, some of the key decisions weren't going their way in this one, but overall they just couldn't take their chances, and a large majority of that was down to Al-Habsi, so fair play to Reading, I mean. And then in terms of the Sheffield Wednesday game, my word, this was dramatic. I mean, to lose on penalties in a playoff semi-final is absolutely devastating, and I mean, myself being a Preston North End fan, I know all too well about playoff heartache, so I know what the Fulham and Sheffield Wednesday fans will be feeling at the moment. But I mean, it took a penalty shootout to separate these two sides, but I actually didn't think that this game was actually a bad game. Actually, I thought this was actually quite entertaining when I did go ahead and watch it. I mean, it was Stephen Fletcher who gave Sheffield Wednesday the lead in the 51st minute, an excellent goal from him, and it was a nice header into the back of the net. Didn't give Danny Ward a chance with that one, but after that, Huddersfield seemed to really come out of their shell in that one, and really either team could have won this game in that segment of the game, because Sheffield Wednesday had a chance to go ahead and make it 2-0. You know, if they make it 2-0, that's probably curtains out for Huddersfield, so it really is fine margins in these games, which goes ahead and, you know, proves pivotal. But it was a Tom Lee's own goal, which then made it 1-1. We went into extra time and they still couldn't be separated, but what was most bizarre above anything else was that, of course, Forestieri missed his penalty. Of course, Danny Ward saved it, which then went ahead and meant that Huddersfield would make the final. But what's most crazy of all anything else is FIFA predicted this in the last video. If we go ahead and look at the last video, FIFA predicted Forestieri would miss a penalty. That is just absolutely crazy, guys. So, I mean, FIFA has just absolutely outdone me on that one, because they predicted Forestieri would go ahead and miss a penalty. So, fair play to FIFA. Their predictions were on point. So, like I said, guys, if you did watch this game, let me know in the comments down below what you did make of the game. And also, as well, how do you think Sheffield Wednesday and Fulham will bounce back from this next season? I'd be very interested to know, you know, do you think some of them will lose some of their key players, or do you think they'll be right back up there at the top of the Championship next season with a newly revitalised squad? But we'll go ahead now and and give my predictions for what I think will happen in the playoff final. So what I would love to know from you guys is, what do you think will happen in the playoff final? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you do successfully manage to get your score prediction correct, I will include your comment at the start of the next video. As well, what I'd also love to know from you guys is, who do you think is going to be the man of the match, and who do you think is going to be the first goal scorer, or the goal scorers in general? Let me know down below. I'd be very interested to know about that as well. And who do you want to get promoted? That's another interesting one. But in terms of how I think the game will go, I mean, I just hope it's a good game, you know. For every average championship fan, I just hope it's a good game, because throughout the playoff semi-finals, we saw pretty much all of them be very cagey affairs, and I do anticipate that the final will follow a similar pattern, really. I mean, with the way that Reading like to play, you know, with that sort of like 5 at the back system, I have a feeling that they'll be going to Wembley looking to nullify Huddersfield's attack, which probably is, you know, their main strength, really, Huddersfield going forward. But I think this game could be won in the middle of the pitch. They're two teams which like to hold possession, I'd say. You know, Huddersfield got players in there like Aaron Moy, a fantastic playmaker, and then you've got players who Reading have had who love to keep hold of the ball. You know, players in there like John Swift, Liam Kelly, and Danny Williams. This game could be massive in terms of the centre of the pitch, so I'm very interested to see how that will actually go ahead and unfold. But in terms of who I think could be the man of the match, Ali Al-Habsi is going to have a massive game, in my opinion. If he is able to pull out the same saves which he was doing against Fulham, if he is able to elevate his performance to that standard for this game, Reading could look unbeatable in this game, because we all know that Reading, defensive-wise, are a little bit suspect, but they've got that guy between the sticks who can make all the difference. But if this game does go ahead and make it to penalties, you'd probably be back in Huddersfield in that aspect, you know, because, of course, they've already gone ahead this season and won that penalty shootout, so maybe they've got that bottle in it. But in terms of my score prediction for this game, I do anticipate it to be a low scorer, which is quite disappointing, because I do want to see a lot of goals being scored. But I just think with everything that's on stake in this one, I think it will be a fairly low scoring game, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory for Reading. I just have a gut feeling that Reading are going to do it. So many times this season we've seen people put Reading down this season, and they just defied all their critics. Reading have finished 3rd in the Championship, even after some horrendous performances. When it really seems to matter, Reading step up, and I just get the impression that Reading are going to do it for this one. I mean, if we also look at the form book for both of these two sides coming into the playoffs, Reading do considerably have the better form coming into it. So I'm going to go for a very slim margin of a 1-0 victory. Of course, anything could happen, and in all honesty, I'd love to see either of these two sides in the Premier League. I mean, I'd love to see Huddersfield in the Premier League with some of the football they played this season, and Reading would be a very interesting one indeed as well. But I'm going to go for a slim 1-0 victory for Reading, and the goal scorer, I think it's going to be a Jan Kermigan goal, and I think it's going to be quite reminiscent of like Bobby Zamora for QPR, that sort of thing in the last minute. I think that could happen in this one, so I'm going to go with a very cagey affair, but a 1-0 victory for Reading. Guys, let me know what you think will happen in the comments down below. I'd love to know your guys' opinions on this one. And it's quite interesting actually that FIFA has gone ahead and backed a 1-0 victory for Huddersfield, so we're both sitting on opposite ends of this one, and my, this is going to be a tough game to predict. So guys, that will wrap it up for this playoff final prediction video. So if you guys have enjoyed, make sure you do leave a like. It is always massively appreciated. Like I said at the start of the video, apologies that I've not been uploading too much recently, but I should be getting back onto it fairly soon. So guys, make sure you do subscribe around here for regular Championship content. Make sure you go ahead and check out all the other links in the description down below. Drop me a follow on Twitter, as I always tweet before I upload a video. Therefore, you'll never miss a video ever again, guys. But apart from that, make sure you leave your predictions, and I'll see you all in the next one.